So a virtual camera is what we'll be using to get a real-world position and translate it into the virtual environment. For this, we need a method of tracking our physical rig. There are various options available to tracking the rig, but for this demonstration, we'll be using a VR system. For my current rig, I'm using an Oculus Rift S controller. The Rift S tracks the environment with an inside-out tracking method that uses the built-in cameras, accelerometers, and gyroscopes. This is great for if you have a small space and are unable to set up base stations to track movements. However, I found that inside-out methods of tracking can be unreliable if your movements are too small. When doing smaller, more stable shots, I noticed the headset tends to cut out for a few seconds and stop tracking the scene, which can be rather irritating if you're trying to get simpler shots with minimal movement and camera shake. The alternative option is to use a base station-based VR system, such as the Oculus Rift, the HTC Vive, or the Valve Index. Personally, I'd go with the Vive Pro or the Valve Index if you want higher quality tracking with the newer tech. Technically speaking, for a base station system, all you need is the base stations and a controller or tracking puck to get started. The headset itself is unnecessary for this system. For the actual camera tracking, your two options are between a VR controller or a standalone tracking puck. The benefit of having a controller is it gives you options for mapping buttons to various controls such as focus, focal length, or movement. However, it's more complicated to mount. With a tracking puck, they come with a built-in 1/4-inch thread for easy mounting. For the rig itself, you can either build it up piece by piece with accessories from a company like SmallRig, or you can buy a basic handheld or shoulder rig straight off Amazon. Building it up piece by piece will allow you to be more modular with it, but regardless, there's a few main things you'll want to make sure it has to make your life easier. A 15mm REL system to attach everything to, a set of handles to grip your rig, an external monitor so you can view the environment from all directions without having to look back at your computer monitor, and a way of attaching the tracker to the rig. If you're using a tracking puck, you can simply attach it with a 1/4-inch mount. However, if you're using a controller, you'll need a way to hold it in place. For my Rift S rig, I used a SmallRig ball head clamp mount. Alternatively, you can also try 3D printing a mount to fit the exact dimensions of your rig. There are a few other bits and pieces that can help make your life easier, such as a wireless HDMI system or a shoulder pad for comfort, but you can decide if those are things you need for your projects.